Good. Okay, I guess these questions are as if I was a student.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I've heard the IT career is exciting, rewarding, money, but also fun to be in. So as a high school student or career tech student, what would you recommend I do to get ready for it?
Stay current. Find out where the industry is going, especially when pursuing a specific position at a given company. Make sure that you're aware what the company objectives, what the company vision is. Certainly helps prepare and also indicate your interest and your enthusiasm for the position. In general, school, especially like OSU Okmulgee, prepares one for a very practical approach. Gives very current, very on-the-ground knowledge for someone to be able to enter the field. But beyond that, one should also augment one's knowledge with what's available on the internet, what's available in other information media or research corners. An employer would likely want to see that that you have a well-rounded base and would be able to enter into a field that is not necessarily familiar or otherwise very comfortable. Being able to enter a new situation and use previous experience, previous knowledge to very quickly change tracks and to demonstrate that one can capitalize on their potential is incredibly important.
Good. Okay, now I'm an older student,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been working outside of the field for a while, but now I want to get into it. So, is my age going to impact whether I'm going to be successful in trying to get into IT at age 35 or 40 or something?
Quite honestly, I've never seen that to be a detractor. Again, employers very much care about trajectory and ability, and what one may accomplish in a new position. Trajectory is very important when folks look at a resume, and it doesn't have to be trajectory for the entire history. A very recent trajectory is a great indicator of what one may do in the future, in the near future. So if one is interested, if you're interested in getting into IT after a hiatus or a similar break, demonstrating that you're, again, very, very current in the knowledge, in what's happening in the field and what's going to be happening tomorrow, as well as indicating that you're already doing things which are very pertinent, very closely related to what a specific job or the field in general may require. And as part of that, demonstrating that you've made progress. The faster the progress, the steeper the trajectory, the more compelling a candidate would be to a potential employer.
And last question, I'm a prospective student thinking about coming to OSU Okmulgee.
Mm-hmm.
What's unique about our program here?
The aspect that continues to strike me as unparalleled in many other institutions where other students may be prepared for the field, but really where OSU Okmulgee stands out for me is just how practical, how well-grounded, how pertinent, and how current the program is in its curriculum and what the professors hear, as well as what the students learn and touch and see. It is that I think will equip the student to outcompete others from several other universities or colleges or similar programs, whereby demonstrating that one is ready to come in and continue to excel in their knowledge, as well as immediately contribute to the company based on a very practical, very well-grounded, and very current education that I think may and will likely equip a student to succeed where others may not be as successful.
And my mistakes aren't going to be on YouTube, right?
I'm a man, I'm 40. Well, unfortunately, I don't think Gandhi thought that was a mistake, but. Hey, Scott? Anybody out there?
Yeah.
Can you close that door? I'm kind of hearing people talk a little bit. Okay, I'm rolling. Fast forward to your questions.
Jeff Starkweather.
And here it says Jeff, and then it's what's it like, in what geographical area.
That's right.
Okay. Well, you work for a firm with an interesting name, Centipede Networks Incorporated. What's it like to be an IT professional?
Being an IT professional is probably one of the most rewarding things that I think a person can do. You not only get to be involved in emerging technologies, but you get to meet interesting people and create products and services that really can make a difference for people.
Cool. All right. Next one's kind of interesting, like where in the world am I going to work? So here I am in Oklahoma. What are the possibilities geographically for working as an IT professional?
Geographically, it's amazing how technology has made the world a smaller place. Our company in particular, let me start over on that. Geographically, it's amazing how the world has become really a smaller place. In our company, for instance, we work with developers over in India, over in Russia and Ukraine, and then even over, you're pretty much in about 3 or 4 other states across the country. Geographically, it really doesn't make a difference where you are. You can be involved in the IT community and really be a part of something global.
Wow. And then OSU Okmulgee's program, how long have you been on advisory board member?
Oh, I've been in advisory for too long. I don't know. It's been 3 or 4 years.
Okay, so you've been here long enough to know something about how the program operates. What would you tell a prospective student about what's unique about our program?
What we find as a company with OSU Okmulgee is their ability to take a learning environment. Let me start over there. What we find with OSU Okmulgee is we find they have the ability to take a learning environment and put practical application with it, which you don't find a lot in higher education. That makes it much more valuable for a company to be able to take graduates that are fresh out of school and put them in a position to actually do something in the company that is very useful.
And so you see that here. Why do you think we're successful at doing that?
I think OSU Okmulgee is geared around getting students. I think pardon me, sorry.
Okay.
I think OSU Okmulgee is geared around taking students and getting them the necessary skills to get them a job and putting them to work. And that's what I don't think you see in a lot of other universities.
Good. Okay. Stay right there. Let's just check it back.
All right.
I'll take that. You're with a company called Thompson?
Yep, Thompson West.
Okay. What is Thompson?
Thompson, well, it's Thompson West is the name of the company, but it's they are a publisher of online legal information. Have you ever heard of Westlaw?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Westlaw is Thompson West.
Oh, okay.
It's
Cool.
Westlaw is the
Really?
product. Thompson West is the company that makes it.
I'm impressed. I got a brother-in-law, it's a lawyer, so.
Oh yeah, yep. I'm sure he's a customer.
Yeah, I know he is. He's,
We're a small company based in Tulsa, about 35 folks, and we were just acquired by Thompson in March.
oh, okay.
So I'm a new Thompson West employee.
Things always change in
Yep.
the IT field, okay. Well, okay, let's talk first from the perspective of somebody maybe that's an IT student and they're wondering what to do to get ready to go out into the world. So what are the best things you could recommend to somebody to do to get ready for a career in the exciting world of IT technology?
Well,
All right. Oh, say your name.
just say my name, Matt Galloway.
Yeah, because the editor will need to identify
Okay.
who's talking.
Right, I'm Matt Galloway.
Okay. What can I do to get ready for a career in the exciting world of IT technology? Me, how can I get ready?
Well, in addition to the obvious thing of being enrolled in the information technology program at OSU Okmulgee, I think it's really important to think about how technology is used in business, how it affects business, how working in technology makes money, saves money for companies. And I think the best way that students can do that is by trying to find opportunities for experience, whether that be part-time work or internships, but also looking at online trade publications, talking to people in the industry, talking to the information technology committee advisors, and interacting with with anybody in business the business of technology that you can, to understand how technology affects business and how it's being talked about, so you can be comfortable with those things when the time comes to look for that first post-college job opportunity.
So it's not just memorizing your X's and O's or your zeros and O's?
No, it's not. It's about understanding how the information in the curriculum that you're learning applies to business, how it makes money, how it saves money, and how it what is your job function doing for that business. And the more time you can spend understanding that before you graduate, the more valuable you'll seem to your future employees, and in fact, the more valuable you will be to your future employer.
Now, how about the prospective student, maybe the older student? Is it ever too late to get into it? What if you're like 35 or something? Can you still get into the game?
There's an old story about a guy that said, well, I can't be a doctor because I'm 35, and by the time I'd be out of school, I'd be 45. And the guy he's talking to said, well, how old are you going to be in 10 years if you don't become a doctor? I think it's never too late to look at a career in information technology. Like any professional, white-collar career, information technology is always looking for competent, qualified, professional individuals who are dedicated to their profession, and I think with a good, solid educational background and somebody that's prepared to go into the workforce, I think there's always opportunity. I think people need to be realistic about where their starting positions are, and they need to understand that they are competing with a lot of young people in the space. But I think that people can leverage their life experience combined with good, solid education, and always find opportunity. It's a growing field, and I definitely think that that folks, no matter what age, can find places to work in the industry.
Okay, so somebody young or old has decided to start looking for a school. What would you, as an advisory board member, tell them about OSU Okmulgee? What makes it unique in your mind?
Well, OSU Okmulgee's information technology program is very unique in that the faculty and staff are very committed to understanding exactly what the needs are of real employers in this region and nationally, and they use input from people like myself and other folks on the advisory committee, as well as various outreaches to really understand how they need to shape their curriculum to give their students not only the academic ins and outs of technology that they're learning about and working with, but understanding how that applies to the real world and how that's going to apply in that first job opportunity out of college.
Excellent. Okay. Let's check it back here.
Now, I'm not sure this second question applies to me necessarily, but
What was your second question?
it says, in what geographic areas are information technology positions available?
What would be a good question?
Well,
Okay, camera's on, and just say your name for the editor.
Brian Davis.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Brian, I guess there's more to being a computer person than just having technical skills. How important are the non-technical aspects of the IT?
I think the non-technical aspects are as important, or maybe even more important than the technical skills. We have to keep in mind that we have people using our information technology to do their work and to run the business and to run their organizations, and so we have to be very good at relating to people and establishing relationships and working well with our counterparts in other parts of the organization, and in communicating with them to let them know how to use the technology more appropriately and how to get the most out of the technology. So having those people skills, those non-technical skills are critical to long-term success in the information technology field.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of IT, especially in big corporations, is project-based. So you've got a project team that needs to be able to communicate in a rational manner without killing each other.
Certainly, yeah. Project skills, the greatest skill in any sort of project management is communication. And the better you communicate with your counterparts on a project team, the more successful that project is going to be. Project management is organizing your resources, your people and your money and your equipment or whatever it is to accomplish an objective, and you're going to organize those better if you can communicate and you can relate with the other people on the team. So it's really, really important.
So you're an IT professional. What's that like? Do you get up every day and say, gee, I'm glad I'm an IT professional?
I really enjoy being an information technology professional. It's a very dynamic business. It's a very dynamic role. It's constantly changing. There are constantly new challenges and new opportunities. So you wake up every day knowing that you're going to learn something new and you're going to do something different. And we use technology to solve business problems and to make our business and our organizations better. And so every day you get to go to work and say, how can I use technology to make our world, our business world, our working world, our lives a little bit better. So it's constantly changing. It's very dynamic.
And I'm sure you're familiar with our program here. If you were talking to a prospective student, what would you tell them that's unique about our program?
The unique thing about the program at OSU Okmulgee is it's a very hands-on program. Not only are you learning the theory of information technology and learning the concepts of information technology, but you really have an opportunity to apply that learning in more of a real-world environment. The other nice thing about the program at OSU Okmulgee is that the faculty and staff and administration at this school are really concerned about staying in touch with the industry and with industry professionals and getting feedback on how their program is aligned with the needs of the industry. And therefore, when a person graduates from this program, they're ready to go to work and they're ready to get out there and earn a living. So I think that's a really valuable thing.
And have you had the opportunity to hire an OSU Okmulgee graduate yet?
No, I haven't had the opportunity to hire an OSU Okmulgee graduate yet, but I can tell you that if I were to see that on a resume, I would immediately know that that's a quality individual and that individual has been trained in a very specific way, and that would weigh heavily in my consideration.
Let's just check that back line.
Okay.
They show the scene with the rabbit.
Well, you know how John Cleese really made most of his big bucks was making customer service videos.
Oh, for training, corporate training video. I've heard that he had done those. I didn't know.
He said he made way more money than he did in the video film business. and he said it's the same principle. I mean, that you would apply to his movies. Remember the dead parrot routine?
Yeah.
There's customers.
Yes, exactly right
Nothing wrong
there.
with this parrot. Okay, just for the editor, can you close the door? You can come in and close the door if you want to.
Yeah, you're not gonna bother me.
Yeah, I'll hang out here.
All right. Keep the fans away. Just say your name for the editor.
Steve Cagle,
And what company?
F&M Bank and Trust Company.
Oh, okay. Right down the street from me. It's where we go to cash our bonds.
Oh, okay.
Well, Steve, I guess from the financial point of view, you maybe have a different perspective than other people who've answered this question, like what kind of positions are available in the world of information technology?
Sure. Well, in our industry, as we're seeing more and more, technology may be the only competitive advantage one bank may have over another. So with the implementation of technology such as online banking, online bill pay, at the consumer level and the commercial level, technology is very important to what we do today and will continue to be that way. So there's jobs for supporting the customers directly. There's technology jobs supporting internal users. There's network administration, firewall, security analyst positions, programmers. .NET programming has taken off tremendously in the last few years, using web services to deliver products and services to our customers, and then breaking down the geographic barriers that we've had in the past, so customers can be retired and be traveling all over the country, all over the world, and still be able to do their banking online. So it all comes back at one level or another, tied back to technology. And if we don't have the right people in place, if we don't have the people with the right training and experience in place, we can't compete. And that's what it's really becoming in banking, especially.
Yeah, I think maybe online banking to me is one of the coolest things about the internet, just all that you can take care of.
Well, it was kind of interesting when online banking rolled out. Most bankers were like, well, who would want online banking? Because they had always had a terminal sitting at their desk. They could do online banking anytime they wanted to. It just wasn't in the form of the internet. So when that barrier was crossed, then they could see the value because the customers had access to everything they'd had for years. So it was pretty important.
And then one of the big courses that we teach here, even up to the Bachelor of Technology degree, is the information assurance, which has got to be
Sure.
huge in your area.
Security is protecting our customers' confidential private information, non-public information is our #1 concern. And not only because it's just part of being responsible in our industry, but it's also regulated by the federal government. So we have responsibility there too. Information security analyst position, the data forensics study of that, understanding what you're looking at, helping to protect that customer information is really the trust of the public is our biggest asset. And if we ever lose that, then we lose our customers. And so that's of the utmost importance.
Besides banking, are you aware of what other kind of companies employ the kind of IT professionals that we produce here?
Yeah, something, because my experience and being a commercial bank that I work for, we see customers in every industry. So manufacturing, we see customers in oil and gas, medical. We see our customers come from just sales cultures and products and services that are financial services beyond banking, insurance services. So every one of those customers at some level has either an IT person on staff, an entire IT department, and then their needs and concerns are just as important to them as ours are to us. For example, oil and gas technology, the information that they store about well logs, production logs, where they're drilling, where they're going to drill next, that's proprietary information that may give them a competitive edge over their competition. So they've got to keep that information secret. They've got to keep it behind, within a secure network. The medical industry, with the passage of HIPAA, having that information about our personal private medical records kept safe and also portable. In the future, my children, the students of the school today, they may have devices where they carry their medical information with them beyond just a tag that they wear on a bracelet or a necklace. That in an emergency, their doctor may have all their medical records right there in something as small as maybe even on their portable phone or smartphone. So That is all cutting edge. Doctors are moving away from paper records. You have to have the technology in place to deliver those records electronically. At every point in each of those instances, technology is the foundation. Without a network to deliver that information, without a microcomputer or laptop or other device to collect that information, without having the training to know how to secure a network or a device with all that information on it. I mean, it's all critical to any of those industries, and we're going to see it just continue to grow more and more, I think.
So I heard something you said that kind of sounds like a very interesting big three, like always secure, always accessible, always portable.
Yeah, the CIA triad. But back to the, yeah, because if it's in today's society, every student probably on campus has a phone, cell phone. Now, when I was going to school and you were going to school, we didn't have the luxury. There was one mounted to the wall in some building somewhere. So that is how they're going to want that information delivered to them. They're going to want it on a cell phone. They're going to want it on a personal data device, and whatever that may be with Google and the G phone and some of the technology they're working on, that could radically change everything. So as in 1995, for example, I think that was the first year Amazon sold their first book. One of the first internet banking products was launched. I think maybe it could have been even Google was launched that year, Yahoo, one of the others. Internet delivery was a fad. It wasn't taken seriously. Now we know where we're at today. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry for delivering products and services and goods. So the generation that's coming is the mobile generation. They're going to want it with them all the time. They're used to that now. They're going to want that that readily available information even more than the demand is there today. So having the experience, expertise, the training, the understanding of that need and that change in the way we do business and the way people live is going to change a lot of things that I don't think we can even anticipate yet. So.
Yeah, I think I went to that conference in DEF CON out in California in '95 where Yahoo was launched. I remember that. Well, what about non-technical skills? Are they just as important for the IT professional?
I call it connecting the dots. If you have a person for example, that's very, very knowledgeable in technology and information technology delivery, security, but their business skills aren't there. Now they can be learned and we can train people once they enter the workforce, but they have to have an understanding of what the core business is in the industry they're going to work in. So back to whether it's medical services field, whether it's banking and finance, whether it's manufacturing, oil and gas production, the list goes on and on. If they don't understand the core concept of that business they're trying to support, they will not be as successful. So it's very, very critical that they have the social skills or try to hone those social skills or keep them as sharp as their technical skills. It's EQ and IQ, emotional quotient, being you can be the smartest, software support or developer in the world, but if you can't communicate or have an empathetic understanding of what that end user needs or what that customer is looking for, then the technology you're providing will never be accepted. It'll never be widely used. But if you can say, I have an opportunity here to fix a problem or to provide a solution or to extend something beyond where it's being delivered today, then you've got a goal that you can reach for that will make your skills even more valuable. But so many people in the technology industry, me included, have made the mistake of saying, well, it's a great technology, and so, a solution looking for a problem. And it doesn't work that way. Business in itself is challenging and has problems day to day. And to be successful in this industry or any industry using your technology skills or technical skills, you've got to understand what those problems are and having the ability to step up and say, hey, I've got a solution. And there's companies all over, Microsoft, The whole open source movement is all about solving problems. And that's the thing we have to remember, to understand what the problems are so we can effectively try to solve them.
That's really good. Let me just check the back. I'm here to see what your questions are, because
Were they different for everybody?
they're about the same.
Are they?
The only thing that's different is the answers.
Ah, okay.
So have you gotten used to being an ATT employee instead of an SBC employee?
Yes, I have. It was difficult at first, but it was more difficult to go from Southwestern Bell to SBC.
Oh, really?
Because we had been known as Southwestern Bell since the time I had worked, 1977. So, we were a SBC for a relatively short time, and then we converted over to the AT&T name.
So you deal in the world of technology, but also you're pretty aware of soft skills, how important they are. So for the IT professional, how important are the non-technical soft skills?
I think it's very important. The fact that a professional can listen, can read, can understand what their client is saying is extremely important, and understanding it in the language that the client is speaking as opposed to a technical language is extremely important to the success of the professional and the student.
You said a key word there, listening. That's a real skill that a lot of people never quite master, do they?
No, they don't. And that is extremely important, to be able to listen and to hear what the person is saying and converting it over to something that you can understand and that they can understand. That's a skill in itself and an extremely important one.
And you also have to be able to give them the signals that you are listening to them.
That's exactly right.
And what about technical people in project groups where you're actually sitting around talking about, well, how are we going to solve this problem? The idea of teamwork.
Teamwork is extremely important. We use that frequently at AT&T to solve problems. You hear the saying that two minds is better than one. You get around a table, you brainstorm, you talk about how you can solve an issue that the company's having, and being able to work in those teams in an effective way is very important.
Do you have much dealings with people that might get into the field a little late, and so they worry about, can I be an IT professional if I'm coming back into the workforce?
Yes, and I don't think age is as important as maybe as it used to be. I think corporate America, I think the U.S. has realized that we have to take advantage of every resource that we have to be able to compete globally. And so that includes our young generations, that includes the middle generations and the older generations. I do think there are some issues in terms of being able to communicate across those generational lines, and I do think it's important for the students, whether they're traditional or non-traditional, to learn how to communicate with all different ages. I think that's important.
And then the last question is, you've been with us a long time, you've been with this program since its inception, so if you're talking to a group of prospective students over in Sand Springs, what do you tell them about our program that has struck you as unique about it?
I feel like that the program is industry driven, it's industry supported. I really feel like that the staff at OSU Okmulgee listens to what the industry members are saying, the advisory members, and takes that information back to their programs so that the students have a better chance for success when they graduate. And you don't see that at all universities. So OSU Okmulgee's goal is to put a productive person to work, and I think that OSU Okmulgee completes its mission very well.
Very good. Let's just see how that. You're used to talking in those little